Okay, another important part of painting is the cleanup. I went ahead and used this brush and did all the baseboards, painted the cabinet trim, and painted the window casing as well. So what you're going to need to properly clean a paintbrush is you could set it in some water. So I have a bucket of water here, and you could use a garden hose, but you want to go somewhere where you can empty out the excess paint and it's not going to stain anything. So I wouldn't recommend doing this in a bathroom sink or kitchen sink. You might be able to wring most of the paint out, then bring it to the sink, because a little dish soap really helps in getting the deep down paint out of here. But what else helps is, first thing what you want to do is empty your paint bucket and pour as much paint as you can out of it back into your paint can, and then have your brushes soaking in water, especially with the water soluble paint. If you're using oil based, you're going to want to use a mineral spirits or some alcohol of some nature that eats away at the oil, because that will not clean with water, and I've seen too many brushes messed up because of that. Another thing you're going to want is a good wire brush, because you see how this paint is really caked down in there? Well, I want to get as much of that out as I can, and I want to work on a surface that I don't mind getting dirty, because this could get pretty dirty. But I want to take my wire brush, I want to brush with the grain of the bristles, and I want to loosen up all the chunks of paint that have kind of dried near the base, and then just get those out. But again, I'm going with the bristles as to not go against the grain, because if I go against the grain, it's going to break the bristles and they're going to sit all wild and not be precise for the next time I need to use this paintbrush. So I get on down as deep as I can, and a good cleaning is going to take about 5 minutes or so. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. So as you see, if you ever spray into the end grain of the bristles, you really want to hold them tight together so that the pressure of the water doesn't make them fray, and that'll allow your brush to last quite a long time. I've had this brush probably about 2 years now, and it's still in good shape, and I can still do some precise trim work with it. A good wire brush to brush the bristles back into their original orientation is a good idea. And one thing I like to do is I like to keep the original packaging, because that will hold the shape of my brush as it's drying. So once I run the water through it and I depress the brush and the water runs clear, then I shape it, and I like to put it back inside my brush case, because they're usually a cardboard with about a wax coating, so they're supposedly waterproof, and this should hold the shape, so the next time I use it, I have a nice brush ready to use. And that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and clean out my bucket, and I got to work on the detailed zebra trim brush. Anyway, thanks for watching,